Okay, no bit for this episode again.
All right.
Second week in a row.
That's fine.
But I do have a surprise for the people listening.
What's that?
You want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone listen closely.
Ah! He hit me.
I can touch her.
Oh my god, that wasn't a... I suppose that was a touch.
Yeah.
It was a slap.
I don't say I slapped you on the fucking show.
It was a... I won't say it.
He got his fist closed.
I was going to say a spank.
A spanking? It was closer to a spanking, yeah.
A spank on the leg.
Billy's here.
I'm here.
Billy's in the country.
Yeah, I'm not just here in the podcast. I'm here in the room.
Billy's in the same room as me. All the
Yes.
space in between? What space in between?
No space. We're touching.
Her foot is touching my leg right now as we're recording.
The space in between is this distance that my sock is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm glad you brought it up. It's a little too close.
Oh god.
Yeah,
It's actually
need
giving
to
me some
be-
nervous energy.
Yeah, it needs
if
to
you
be a
could
little,
just-
at least a few feet from me
That's fine.
at all times.
That's fine.
Unless I'm doing a funny bit. There we go. Hey, welcome to me. My name is Mitch.
My name's Billy.
And we're in the same room.
Together.
I can't stress that enough.
A reunion.
I just like to remind everyone that we're close.
Oh my
I
god.
pinched her when I said that.
Jesus.
I pinched her little foot. I figured you'd squeal, but you didn't.
Don't call it little.
This foot isn't little.
Don't. What? It's not about whether it is or it isn't. It's about you telling people my private
It's
information.
emasculating to you. You want to have big honking feet. That's
You
what,
know what they say.
yeah, the bigger the foot, the bigger the pussy. That's what they...
Shut up. This is an awful start to
No,
an
this
episode.
is beautiful. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're in the same room. This is what I live for. Podcasting with no space in between.
I love it. No latency.
No
That's
latency.
the best part. Yeah.
There's absolutely no latency. We've solved that too.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yes.
Welcome to All Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name's Billy. Yeah,
and
again.
We are back
On our bullshit.
with 3 questions
Yes.
for everyone. Well, 3 emails.
A classic little 3-parter. Will we
Yeah.
do it? Who knows? Not us.
For the first time listeners out there, this is an email reading podcast, as I have been calling it now consistently.
That's our catchphrase. Yeah.
This is a podcast where we read emails,
Emails to us. Not
Yeah.
just anyone.
just my business emails, my work emails. Yeah, or just the
Just read out offers that I'm getting
yeah.
from Vistaprint.
the offers that World Market sends. Oh, they're having another 30% off sale. It's like, well, the chair is still $600, Mitch. So
And you
can't.
The house is simply full of chairs.
you can't get another
Someone's
World
gotta
Market
stop
chair.
him.
We're both sitting on World Market right now. If they're listening, would love to sponsor the show. I would love more chairs. Because I've been really thinking about getting a computer chair by them.
You've got a computer chair.
Not a World Market one.
Oh my god.
Not one that's uncomfortable. I don't have one that's
Not one with no back support.
yeah, one that
Yeah.
just looks better than it feels. Not any of those. Before we get into the questions, how was your flight?
Awful.
Why?
No, it wasn't awful. But there was no vegan food on it.
Oh yeah, this is the bougie
Which-
princess here. There was no vegan food, and I barely got a foot rub.
There was no vegan food, but I was like, that's okay. Maybe, I'll cheat. I'll be like, what's the vegetarian?
Cheat on me on the flight
Cheat. I'll join the Mile High Club to make myself feel better.
because there's no vegan food. Yeah, I might as well cheat.
I'll have an affair.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm mad and I need to relieve the tension.
You fucked the pilot.
No. I was like, okay, maybe, if the vegetarian option is just like some pasta that's got like some cheese on top, I was
Right.
like, okay, I'll just have that. So I was like, what's the vegetarian option? And they were like, oh, so
Veal.
we don't have one of those either.
There's not even a
There was
vegetarian
not
option.
even a vegetariarian or pescatarian option.
Wow.
It was chicken or beef.
Those
those
were
were the
flying
options.
from Ireland.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just
You think they'd have just a potato?
a potato.
to eat.
Yeah, some roasted potatoes, a beer, and one of those
Guinness.
sticks they hit people with that your grandmother got me.
My grandmother did give you a hitting stick.
What is it? What are they called?
A shillelagh?
A shillelagh.
Yeah.
I do have a shillelagh now.
Yeah. She said it was to keep me in line.
That's really hot.
Toxic.
Yeah. What did I say? I meant toxic and bad.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. But tell her that I said thank you.
Okay.
I'll tell her.
Don't.
I'll tell her
You won't talk
that
to
it's
her.
hot. Thank you, ma'am.
God. Anyway, my flight was long. It was that there was no food. There was a guy behind me who was kind of prodding the back of my seat repeatedly. And I was like, okay, that's fine. He'll probably stop it. He's probably just strolling through the films.
Right.
And soon he'll find one and he'll stop. But it didn't stop. It got faster and harder and more and more.
He's playing Flappy Bird.
And I turned around and I was like, sorry, could you stop poking? And he looked at me and he was like, oh, it's the game I'm playing.
He's actually playing a game.
He was actually playing a game.
I was joking.
He was playing a game.
I was joking.
But he said it in such a way that was like he wasn't going to stop playing the game. He's like, well, it's the game I'm playing.
You don't understand.
What do you expect me to do?
Yeah. I'm playing
Give up the high score?
I'm playing a first-person shooter right now. I'm getting headshot after headshot.
CSGO.
And I'm ranking right now, so...
excuse you.
Yeah.
This dude was playing a fucking game like on the back of my head.
That's hysterical. Why would they even have that on those tablets?
It's for children, but this was like a 40-year-old man.
Right.
Really offended.
And like, does he not have games on his phone? He has a phone.
I almost gave him my Switch.
Yeah, hey.
Like, fucking play Tetris.
Play Breath of the Wild. You're going to love... This flight's going to zoom by for you.
11 hours, nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing in that game.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me any of that. You were saving it for the show, I guess.
I suppose so.
I asked you how your flight was even when you landed. You didn't tell me any of this.
I was jet lagged.
Okay.
Which is what I'll continue saying for the next month.
That's what you always say when you land and you're like tired and it's like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's the jet lag. But then like you continue saying it a month and a half into you being here. I'm like, okay, at this point, it's depression. It's not the jet lag.
At this point, it's an iron deficiency.
Right.
Come
and
on.
Please go to you are stark white.
So pale.
You need some pink back in you.
You keep getting dizzy every time you stand up.
It's not good.
Anyway,
we should get into the questions before we
should.
Before we do anything.
Who's reading our first one? Is it you?
That will be yours truly. Okay, so the first question we're reading, very on brand. Yes. And it's not a question as much as it is a story.
Settle in.
Okay, everyone, listen closely to this tale spun to us by a dear listener.
This yarn that's about to be woven.
It's called The Shit and Split. And it goes, hey, Elim and Hicktib. Now, this is our names combined.
And then reversed.
I cracked their code. So, hey, Elim and Hicktib. So I have a bit of a fat, juicy kosher for y'all to sink your teeth into. As a bit of a backstory, I've recently moved out of my mom's house, and in doing so, have been spending a lot more time at my boyfriend's than usual. I'm here almost every day, and I pretty much live here with him at this point. Pickle time. Let me set the scene for you two. It's early evening. I'm with my boyfriend. We're in his room. He's already asleep. His dad and little sister are visiting, watching TV in the living room. Everything is perfectly fine, and I notice myself start to drift off as well, until it hits me. The sudden, familiar ache in my stomach that can only mean one thing. I have to use the bathroom. Urgently. I panicked, knowing the result would be catastrophic. You see, I'm lactose intolerant. And me being the big, dumb, stupid head I am, I ate half an extra large, extra cheese pizza previously in the day. So there I am, regretting my life choices and desperately hoping the feeling would go away, but knowing all too well it would only worsen until I relieved myself. Eventually, I gave in and made the mad dash across the hall to the bathroom. The relief soon came as I dispelled the waste from my body, and all was once again well. Now, since my boyfriend lives in somewhat of an old house, some of his appliances don't work like they're supposed to. For example, his toilet. It sometimes likes to not flush for no reason whatsoever. And oh boy, guess who got to experience his faulty toilet for the first time with 3 persons worth of shit in it? Jesus.
Christ.
Panicked, I tried looking for a plunger, but alas, my search came up empty. I tried flushing a few more times out of pure desperation, but that only made things worse. At a loss for what else to do, I did the only thing I thought I could do at the time. I left. Not just the bathroom, but the house. I slipped out of the front door without a word. I had no plan. All I knew is that I didn't want to be there when someone inevitably found the mess I shamefully left. I was gone for approximately 2 hours, and when I came back, it was fixed. Nobody said anything, but I had a weird feeling that everyone knew. Everyone knew what atrocities I had committed in the bathroom. How could they not? I damn near broke the toilet, and then I left in a panic afterwards. I shit and split, if you will. Anyways, there's not much advice to give here, just a story that I figured you both might enjoy. Thanks for reading. You both are great. This person's name.
Wow.
Quite a tale. So I guess the first question is, have you ever shit and split?
Me?
Yes.
I want to say no, but like if someone told me a story where they were like, remember when you did that? I wouldn't be surprised.
Have you ever accidentally not flushed the toilet?
Well, yeah.
I do that all the time.
Do you?
Kind of, yeah. I do it kind of all the time. In fact, you've brought it up a few times.
Have I?
Yeah, but I'm very glad you don't remember.
Yeah, I purged it from my mind.
Yeah, because every time it was just so catastrophic that your mind went blank.
I registered it as a trauma and just put it in the bad
No,
box.
that never happened. I was seeing somebody once in high school where it's like a very similar thing happened to them where like we were staying at this place and they went to go use the bathroom and it wasn't flushing. So they left it and they didn't tell me. And then a little while later I went in there and I had to like fix it for them, but they didn't know that I did it until I left the bathroom and just relentlessly made fun of them for it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just brought it up immediately. It was like, you thought that you could get out of here. You stupid. I saw your shit.
I really want to know who it was.
It was, I'm going to censor their name, okay?
Okay.
It was.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Pretty cool, huh?
That's a good story.
Yeah, it was cute. We were like teenagers, you know?
Yeah.
We were teens.
I think that's the best. Like, to the person who it's happening to, being made fun of is like the thing they're fearing. But I
Yeah.
think it's the best outcome.
Definitely would.
I think it's the best way to deal with it. It's just by making fun of them.
If I'm so anxious that I left the premises, if I'm just in the house and I'm just like patiently, cautiously waiting, I realistically look. The dad was awake. The sister was awake. I would have just kind of shamefully walked up and been like, "Hey, here's the thing. I just used the bathroom. The toilet is not flushing, and
Yeah.
I'm mortified. So, can you don't help me? Walk me through it.
Tell me how.
Tell me how to fix it,
Draw a diagram.
and I will MacGyver
Yeah.
this toilet to flush."
Oh, yeah. Like, listen, I'll pay for a plumber to come around.
Yeah.
He can see. That's his job.
Uh-huh.
You can't see.
You pay for the plumber, it's your ex or something. They've started plumbing. They've become a plumber. Or it's worse, it's like this person's like, it's like your boyfriend's ex. It's their really hot
Oh my
ex-girlfriend.
God.
They're just a hot little plumber now with their ass crack hanging out of their
They're wearing
pants.
like overalls but nothing underneath
Oh,
kind of thing.
God.
Yeah.
Tell me more. What else are they wearing?
I said nothing underneath.
Fuck.
Jesus.
I love it. So,
You just being absolutely mortified.
oh God. Yeah, I would have. I think I wouldn't want them to make fun of like if I was so anxious that I actually left the house. Like imagine imagine the searing white anxiety that just the blinding derealization that you must be in when you just like heart is pounding,
Yeah.
you're hyperventilating,
Yep.
and the next thing you know you're like, why am I leaving?
Next thing you know,
am
you're
I
like 2
go-
blocks away. Yeah,
you-
you've just absolutely turned to just autopilot completely.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are 2 blocks away, stumbling through the woods, as you're just like, this is fight or flight, and I've chosen flight.
I
Yeah.
evidently chose flight. Yeah.
It's better than fight. She just fights the shit in the toilet. She starts punching it.
Just fisting it down.
Oh God,
Yeah.
It works. It works beautifully. But a very funny story indeed.
Yes.
A good tale. Thank you for telling it. We don't
Yeah.
have the time up, so we have no idea.
How long we've been going for.
Yeah, and also it's so small. Is this even right? There we go. Okay, so we're about 15 in.
Sorry, we have to settle back into our in-person podcast setup, which
I
is
know.
surprisingly very different.
It's so much different than when you're gone.
Yeah, because usually we record and we're both just sat in front of a computer screen,
Yeah,
staring into Logic recording, just a grey box.
right. And now we're sitting on these beautiful World Market couches.
Yeah, legs crossed elegantly,
Day beds, really.
making intense eye contact.
We are looking at each other right now while sitting on couches.
We are kind of winking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, fuck it.
Oh my god. You could have brought the hit and stick in here with you.
I could have.
You might as well.
Should have, now that you mention it.
Next week. I'll still be here.
Next question. Oh, it was me again.
Oh.
Didn't I want to read it? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
This next question. This is a person looking for actual art advice.
Yes.
Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we read shitty, pissy little emails, and other times we give some genuine advice when it comes to art.
Yes.
From our dear, dear listeners who I'm loving how they're talking lately.
We're multifaceted people. Our listeners have multifaceted problems. This is a multifaceted podcast.
Yes.
Sometimes it's shit and piss. Sometimes it's genuine, actual art advice, because we do actually do that. We make art.
Yeah.
And we love art.
And to call it I don't think it's a stretch to call it a meditative podcast.
It's a bit of a stretch.
ASMR is what I'm tagging this podcast now.
That's because I made you listen to that meditative podcast last night.
Yes. And now I'm cooked.
And now I'm relaxed, I guess.
I'm hooked into them. So now how is this not a meditative podcast when everything we're saying is relaxing?
Yes.
Even though we're doing a lot of loud laughing. a lot of kind of audio kind of peaks in this.
Yeah.
We're not talking. It's whatever. Hey, maybe my audio podcast will be meditative.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. When I inevitably start that, which I'm going to.
Which she's going to do.
I'm going to fucking start the podcast.
He has been talking about it.
I've been talking about it to Billy.
Yes.
And I am going to do that. I've been thinking about it more, and I think I'm going to do that. But it won't be meditative. It won't be that. It'll just be boring, as you said.
Same difference.
Yeah. Remember in that episode where you said that people would fall asleep to it? And I'm like, oh, that's great. You're like, because it'd be so fucking boring.
So fucking boring.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine.
Yes.
This next email is titled, let me find the title. Where's the title? Is titled, Impulsive Art Decisions, What Have I Done? And it goes, well, hello to the lovely and talented Billy and Mitch. Woo, yeah. And then it says, insert audio of cheering here, maybe?
I love that they're sending in editor's notes.
Yeah, just any
just
more.
a suggestion? Yeah,
maybe
more
right
work
here you'd like to do. So fuck it, yeah, I'll do it.
Do you want some reverb or something as well? Like,
Well, of course. In fact, I just made the decision now. I'll do it. So it goes, well, hello to the lovely and talented Billy and Mitch. Woo, yeah, woo, yeah. I have some things that are of pressing concern, and I believe your expertise could be of assistance. First of all, I have impulsively started writing a comic and posting it online without actually establishing a direction or characters or literally anything. I've had quite a few buddies now reach out saying how it's been something they look forward to, which terrifies me because I am completely making it up as I go along. So I wanted to ask, have you ever gone into a creative project and not had a direction? Because I feel like that's how I start off most of my artistic things, except this time I made the quite frankly rash decision to share it on the internet. And there are at least 3 people who actually care about it as well, which is kind of a lot for me. How do I stay motivated? And how do I find a direction? Or is it too late because I should have done that before the actual publishing of the novel part? If you want a critique, I've posted everything so far on Instagram at @thefunkyuncle. Haha, mentioning bad name choices that you can't change because it's become a part of your identity. But I'll attach the first page here for your brutal honesty, and please be honest, just in case my friends are lying and all my work has in reality amounted to nothing. Secondly, never mind, I forgot. Sock brain. Thank you both for your beautiful creations. Keep up the pissy, shitty good times, jacking out the Funky Uncle. And here's page 1. And they attach it. Now, let me tell you this right now.
Okay.
Let me tell you this right now.
Yeah.
I would not have shouted out their Instagram, and we would not even be reading this email.
Yeah.
If this wasn't genuinely one of the best fucking comics I have seen in recent years.
Yes.
This comic is so... It's got such a nice style to it.
It looks so nice. It's very simple. It's just black and white. It's got like these crazy little amounts of detail in it,
Right. And you seem so seasoned already in what you
This
do.
doesn't seem like it's your first
It
comic.
doesn't seem like something you're just doing off this seems like if this is your first shit, please keep this up. This is something that you at least need to be doing kind of casually in your life, you know?
Yes, definitely. Like we saw it and we were like, okay, all right, just the one.
Right.
Maybe we want to take a peek at the others. Maybe
let's
we want to
look at some of these other ones.
maybe I want to continue looking at the
Right.
Like we looked at one page and we were like, I'm a fan of this.
I'm
This is
instantly
good.
a fan of this comic,
Yeah,
and it's good.
I want to see.
I
it update.
stopped myself from looking at more before we were recording because
Yeah.
I was looking at random ones and I was noticing that it was like following a story. I was like, oh, this person's like going on a date.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I clicked this random one and they're already on the date and I missed like a couple in between.
And you were like, oh, spoilers.
I can't go back.
No.
I can't go forward. I have to go
Yes.
back, but I don't have time for it now because we're about to record.
Yes.
So yeah. So check this out. I'm gonna actually go to my phone right now. And I want everyone to pull out their phone and do the same thing because I know that this audio will be playing in the background as you do it.
Okay.
We're gonna go to Instagram
Yeah.
and we're going to type in, is it the funk
Yeah.
FUNK
Yes.
Yuncle YUNCLE.
This is spelled identically to the funky uncle.
Yeah, if you would
But
like to
it's-
spell it like that.
Yeah, if you want help on the spelling. But it is in fact Funk Uncle.
The Funky Uncle.
Yeah.
On
And
Instagram.
There are 7 comics on there right now, and
Right.
they're just adorable. I genuinely love them so much.
So the reason why I am doing this on the show is because I'm hitting follow back right now
Oh my god.
because I'm following this
Good.
and I'd like to see more of it.
Good.
And I suggest that other people do the same because there's this, this sort of a black and white, hand-drawn, kind of sketchy lined comic in itself is not their original idea. You see many internet comics that are like this.
Yeah.
But
And
this
I'm
is-
a big fan of a lot of them.
I like these. This
Yes.
is very much my style. And this particular style of comic doesn't look like it's trying too hard to be anything other than what it is. I think that's
Yeah.
why it seems so natural.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very derivative or anything. So
No.
anyway, yeah, that is our honest critique is that definitely carry on doing
You
it.
need to carry on doing this.
Yes.
And the how it's written as well. You know, like the dialogue in it and stuff. It's a little bit sad.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's cute, it's relatable, it's sad. I encourage other people to check it out. And to the person writing the email, you did a good thing. Your friends aren't just hyping you up, and you deserve more than 3 people following this thing. In fact, now you have 5.
Yes.
Because you just gained 2 loyal fans of this
so
thing.
there you go. You've almost doubled it by emailing
Look at that.
in. Yeah. But also they had an actual question apart from just the critique,
did
which
they?
is that oh fuck, I forgot.
Yeah, I was about to be like, next question, let's
Which
go.
is, have you ever gone into a creative project and not had a direction?
Oh my God.
Yeah, all the time.
That's most of my creative projects.
You know how rare it is to have a direction?
And do you know how common it is to fail at that if you do have a direction?
Yeah.
It's almost better to
change your
not.
mind afterwards, yeah.
If you already have everything that you want to accomplish and do in this thing, it's very easy for you to do that and to fail at that. To be
Yeah.
like, oh, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, because it never is what you think it's going to be.
No.
It's better just to have an idea. I like the characters you have now.
Yeah.
The character
and-
development will come in time.
Yeah. And I think that, it's when you're in school, like high school, and you're doing like English class and they teach you how to write, and it's kind of like, okay, so, you need to do your planning first. You need to establish the setting, the scene,
Right.
the mood, the weather. The weather's always important. The characters, what they're like. Draw out a family tree kind of thing. It's like, I think that's all good if you're writing fucking like Tolkien or Game of Thrones or some shit,
Right.
But if you're not writing something that's like high fantasy that's got a lot of detail and world building and blah 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 in it, and you're just writing something that's like relatable, it's got emotion to it, it's an expression of something, then I actually think the opposite is true, in that over planning stuff like that will dead it.
Yes,
I think it kills it off.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there has to, especially when it comes to like a web comic like this, you kind of want it to just flow with every day, to just sometimes it's doing this, sometimes it's doing that. And then, with all sort of, cutesy, illustrative, or even animated things, look at the fucking first season of Adventure Time.
Oh yeah.
It's just a bunch of screaming. It really is just a
Yes.
bunch of screaming and people saying
And just
like quirky
catchphrases.
catchphrases and saying mathematical, you
Yes.
know? Because that's really all it was at its core within the first season.
Yeah.
And then it became this big, vast, beautiful, multifaceted, multi-layered character development through the roof.
Yes.
Touching, brought us to tears type of story.
Oh, yeah.
But from the first season, you can't have all that first. You don't know the characters yet. You don't know what they're going to do
And you kind
yet.
of shouldn't. I don't think you should overbear people with like all of this backstory and blah blah blah. That's the thing that people talk about in like D&D a lot as well, is that like when you're making a character first going into something, it's like don't flesh it out too much,
Right.
because then you don't have any space to grow within the story naturally,
Right.
you know. And I think it's a similar thing, and it's, you know, even especially with webcomics, like the tone of it can change, the artistic style can slowly change over time. You know, it's a more fluid thing. You know, so I think you're doing the right thing by just
great.
feeling it out, and I think that the impulse you had to just start posting it was correct.
Is
and
good.
You were right to trust your gut on it.
Yes. Carry on.
Please.
Carry on. And I am now following, and I am looking forward to seeing the updates. No pressure, obviously. Create at your own pace and create something meaningful and create something that is cool to you.
Yeah.
And if you think what you already created is cool, then we have very similar tastes.
Yes, it's very good.
Is that all?
I think so. I think that's a comprehensive answer. Thank you so much for emailing us.
And thank you for
showing us.
sharing that.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Very nice. All right. We have our last email.
Okay.
And it's my turn to read, finally.
That's fine.
Someone else wanted to hog all the reading for this episode.
I'm learning to read, and now I'm very excited that I can.
I'm finally grasping it.
Yeah. I'm starting to get how words are being, how they all.
Like put together.
Yeah, how they form. Well, I mean, you know how it works, obviously.
You're familiar.
Right.
Yeah.
You see the letters will. And then sometimes you look at words and you don't have to sound them out.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy about it.
Yeah. You get so used to it.
You just know it. Yeah.
All right. This email is called Music Without the Money. And it goes, Skabbity pop 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 scat 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 ba ba ba. I tried. Jackson. Hello, my favorite pickled shit and piss podcast. I love how many in-jokes are in there. Just one fucking introduction.
It's just unlistenable to people who are listening for the first time.
Like, what does this mean? Anyway, we're going to get to the comprehensible bit now. So, I bring forth for thy consideration a pickle of the finest brine.
Nice.
I want to make music.
Good.
Here's the problem. I'm very young.
Bad.
So I can't afford equipment.
They're super young. They're 9.5.
9 years old.
Yeah, here's the problem.
That is a problem.
I'm in the 3rd grade. and
all I can do is kind of hit things.
Yeah. I'm only just now getting BO. I'm in the 5th grade. Isn't that a fun time? And we've talked about that before.
We have to not go back into
I know.
this.
We have time to kill, though, so fuck it. Let's talk about it.
I'm very young, so I can't afford equipment. Only beats on YouTube and free music apps for this guy. I've uploaded 2 songs already on SoundCloud, however those are just joke pieces I've made for my friends. I would like to maybe in the future pursue it more seriously. So here's my question. Should I keep trying to create music how I've been doing it, or should I just wait until I can get a job and afford better equipment? Although all my friends I've shown my little joke songs to say that they are actually good, which does help with the confidence in music making. Thank you for reading my briny little pickle. Then it says, you don't have to read the bottom on the show, should you choose. It's fairly long.
It's the nice part about us,
It's the nice
right?
part, yeah.
I want everyone to know that we're good.
Okay, they say, I've been a Flat Sound fan for about a year now. I know, I'm a noob, but I really enjoy your music, Mitch. It's helped me through some rough times. My favorite song by far has to be Everything We Saw That Day and How You Made Me Feel. As for Billy, I just started looking at your art, and in my personal opinion, it's fantastic. Also, your laugh, I might add. Both of you are incredibly talented and inspires me to make more art. Whether it be Mitch inspiring me to make music or Billy inspiring me to work on my drawing. You are both fantastic people. I love the podcast. I found it on an absolute whim, but fell in love with it. Well, I've talked long enough, so I better skedaddle. Jack's out.
Peace.
Sick.
To our young but well-worded little, well-spoken little listener.
With just the best taste in podcasts. That was a chef's kiss. You couldn't see it.
How young do you think they are?
I think they're 14.
I think they're in high school. Yeah, I think
They have a year in their email address, which makes me think they're 14. Yeah. Or
maybe
15.
they are. Now, okay.
I don't know. I can't judge an email address, but that's a guess.
I'm gonna. Yeah, you can't judge a book by its cover, but you can judge an age by an email address that has a date in it. Yeah, they're probably super young. Now, normally I'm just like, I don't want to. Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to me if you're young.
You're
don't
very
talk to
young.
me.
We're talking.
Yeah.
I say the word cock so much on this podcast. And
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I do have some genuine advice here. So
yeah, which is why
right
we're
after
answering it.
this advice, I'm gonna ask you to jack out.
I'm gonna ask you to stop listening, but I do have some genuine advice for this question.
No, my advice is you need to keep on making the music, even the joke songs. When I was exactly 14 years old, I started learning this mixing software, and I started making these joke songs. Me and Jordan used to make these like little joke songs and these little joke recordings from like looping beats and making little samples and doing things like that. And we would make these disgusting little fucking joke songs about Jake, actually. Yeah, we had a whole album called Earth Jake. It was like Earthquake.
You've told me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of presented the whole thing to him. We were very proud of it. We made it into like a CD and had a what's it called? Like not a J card, but like an inlay and a booklet and stuff like that. So it all looked like a packaged CD with a track listing on the back and stuff. And he went away for like a week to see his family. And we worked really hard on this thing, and then we presented it to him. And he hated every song that we did before that was about him. He's like, stop writing songs about me. And we couldn't and wouldn't.
We couldn't. It was just pouring out of us.
We were just at that age. And he looked at the CD, and he just looks at us, and because like we had to spell it like earthquake. So he looks at it, and he just goes, the fuck is Earth Jawaki? And we go, it says Earth Jake, like earthquake. And he goes, I hate this. And it's like his face on the front of it. He was the world, and he was quaking about. And he goes, please stop doing this. You put way too much.
Earth Jawaki.
Yeah, he's like, the fuck is Earth Jawaki? Oh, well, it says Earth Jake, dude. Please be appreciative. So yeah, you start out like that's how you learn this software. That's how you learn to work with music. That's how you learn all this stuff. Is to that's sometimes just how you do it. You know, make the joke stuff at first, and if you have a genuine like interest in making more music or to make like more serious music, like I started out doing stuff like that, and then my more serious music that I made shortly after that was juggalo rap.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's and then I did flat sound. You know, you can do the more meaningful stuff that you really pursue after.
Yeah,
and the rest is just a learning experience. If you're just working with like I didn't know how to play an instrument during this time that I was making Earth Jawaki, or I was doing the juggalo rap, or I was doing anything like that. I couldn't play a single instrument. We're working with fucking loops, and beats and samples and doing all this stuff. You know, and it wasn't until flat sound that I was like, oh, I could like play the guitar now and shit. But keep on doing what you're doing, and I think it'll eventually come to you if that's still your interest a few years from now. You're young, you know. Who cares?
Yeah.
And the it's also worth mentioning that you even doing what you're doing now, as long as you're working in whatever like mixing software that you are learning.
Yeah.
You are learning this stuff. You are learning how to like place tracks together.
Yeah, even if you're just using apps or whatever. It's like you just got an iPad and you have a bunch of apps on it.
The
it's
iPad
like,
is powerful shit.
Yeah, but
I don't want to get back into the back in my day shit, but this iPad is crazy.
This iPad's insane.
That's mind blowing to me all the time.
Yeah, but there's like you've used apps on your phone before. You've got like you play like that. Well, it's not an app; it's a game. But like that software for the DS and stuff like that. It's like,
that's powerful software.
Yeah, like anything you can get your hands on that makes music will be good and helpful.
Yeah.
You know,
and
it's all practice.
The idea that like that you can at this age, like if you have any kind of maybe I would suggest upgrading if you have the time or the money some point in the future, even if it's just a shitty computer. I use so many shitty computers, but when you start to actually work in a DAW, which is a digital audio workstation, so this is things like GarageBand, you know, or the the much nicer version, which is Logic, or Cubase and
Fruity Loops or
Fruity Loops
whatever.
and Ableton and Pro Tools and all these things. Start working with
Any one of them.
some of those things when you can. And even if you are still just like layering things together and making, you're still just working with sound.
Yeah.
And you'll eventually start learning about the EQ. You'll start learning about how to properly loop something or how to record your own audio. And then eventually you'll get into interfaces and microphones and stuff like that. But all that stuff will come in time. I think the fact that you're interested in this enough to make the joke songs shows that you have some kind of interest in this.
Yes, definitely.
And if you want to do music in the future, that's how you keep this interest alive. Is you keep on doing the joke songs and you keep on doing the stuff that you just show your friends. I only showed my friends Earth Jake. It doesn't exist anymore. Thank God.
I didn't publish it.
Right. So yeah, you don't have to publish this stuff. I mean, especially now. Today, it's so easy to just like get your stuff on.
Just throw it up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't even have to do that. Just keep making it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and when it comes to like. Because their question was should I keep trying to create music how I've been doing it, or should I wait until I get a job and afford better equipment? And it's not like an either or thing. It's like, do both of those things.
You can definitely do both of those
Carry
things.
on doing it how you're doing it while you're waiting to afford something better.
Right.
Like, there's no point you just like stopping and just being like, well, I'll just twiddle my thumbs until I can get a piece of equipment.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no point in stopping what you're currently doing.
You don't have to stop at all.
Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing until you can upgrade it,
Yeah.
But
even these apps that you can get on your phone, in these apps, I will say that it's if you do have an iPhone, it is a lot better for these apps. But they exist on Android, but less quantity, and I would also say less quality. But,
all right, we get it. You're a little Apple boy.
Yeah, I am a little Apple fanboy now. No, I've used both a lot.
Yes.
And when it comes to like creation of music, the stuff that is in the App Store is just recording quality, But if you can get some type of app, you can use little DAWs in there, as you know. This is probably how you're making your music now. And you can even work with like synths. And you can teach yourself like how to work with a waveform and how to create these synths and how to make a sequencer. And you can do this entirely with those apps, or just make like drone music with them. You could just make ambient tones with them, or
Stop, you getting me excited.
Or do whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
But our opinion, our honest opinion, would be stick with it. Do not stop.
Yes.
The joke songs are fine.
Yeah.
Share them with your friends, laugh, do whatever. I will say, though, being young today, I'm very glad none of the stuff I made as a joke are on the internet now.
Yeah.
So maybe consider not throwing them out into the permanence of the World Wide Web. Yeah. I'm very glad that these things weren't shared like that now. That you can still find some of my Juggalo rapping. On, I won't say what site.
No.
But maybe one day I'll share it.
Maybe.
I have a full verse up still. I have a full verse up for when I'm 14 years old and I'm rapping. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could quote it right now. I still know the whole thing.
I could perform it right
I could.
now.
I won't, but I could. That's how I am with lyrics. As soon as I write them, they're just in my head forever, and that's proof.
Etched. Yeah. From your Juggalo rap when you were 14.
Yes. Oh God. I'm not super embarrassed by it too. Like it's embarrassing, but it's not bad for being 14.
Yeah,
I think
that's true. I would agree.
Kind of ripped it at 14.
Yeah.
In 2004, of course.
Beautiful. But yeah, I think we've had a very supportive episode. We're just like, keep doing what you're doing to everyone. Dude. Just like, we believe in you all. Yeah.
But to be honest, the comic artist was incredibly talented.
Yeah.
And this person
is on a good track.
Is on a fine track, and you already have a genuine interest in this music shit. If you want to keep doing it, keep doing it.
Well, because it's kind of just built off of our like general advice, but we had an episode specifically that I think was called Start Creating Now.
Yes.
Yeah, where we talked about this a lot. And our advice is always like, just start doing the thing that you want to do. Even if it's shit, start doing it so that as soon as possible, it'll be less shit kind of thing.
We got a lot of people writing in, referencing that episode saying, this is what got me to actually start
to put my skates on.
Yeah. Really
and,
start with this art shit.
And this is a really good example in two different ways of people taking that advice and
starting
doing it.
something.
Just doing stuff and throwing it out there.
From the already talented comic artist
Mm-hmm.
who was just had all this talent and passion just spewing from them in such an amount that they just randomly started putting it up on Instagram and they're already very good, to this little fucking tween that this little young fucking joke a parody artist, really, the Weird Al of his town. Both ends of the spectrum. This slimy little fucking 9th grader.
Oh my God. 9-year-old. We went from 9 years old to 9th grader.
They're a 9 something.
Yeah.
The evil number.
Oh God. Don't get in this numerology shit.
I'll get into numerology. 9 is a powerful number.
Oh my God.
I think about it often.
Save it for the other podcast.
Okay, fine. I will.
You know.
I will, actually. Oh, you think on that other podcast I could talk about like my weirdo conspiracy theories?
Well, I could join you on that one.
Well, my therapist would probably say, no, I've told you to stop talking about this with anyone.
I told you to keep that to yourself.
Yeah,
Stop indulging in it.
Mitch, that's dark. So, and it's actually disgusting.
Oh my God.
How dark it is. It makes people feel weird.
And uncomfortable.
And it makes you look ugly.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you don't want to look ugly, do you?
Like, no.
No.
It's like, this seems like a good thing for a therapist to be termed.
Therapist is just, I don't know,
threatening
Mitch.
someone with ugliness.
That, you should.
You wouldn't want your insides to match your horrible, ugly
Outsides. Yeah, you wouldn't want that. Uh-oh.
yeah.
Oh, this phobia, it's making your hair look a little thin. It's actually, fuck, dude.
Super toxic. You're paying your therapist to just be like so bad and manipulative towards you.
Pay him $80 a session to drag me. Actually, that's kind of a sick. That's kind of a cool. When you think of longevity, when you think of really like keeping a business going,
that's a good.
You
scam.
help someone a little, but you plant a seed of doubt in them.
Yeah, so they
come
keep
back
needing
to you.
therapy.
They need therapy a little bit more.
Yeah, you keep causing more problems for them in like subtle ways.
Yeah, like he's just like, okay, you're working on your agoraphobia a lot now. You can go like you can go out. You're great. It's all good. Just remember, only take left turns because something bad will happen
if you go right.
Yeah, to your like great grandmother if you take a right turn on a Tuesday. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, like you never heard of this?
This is like the therapist version of like Coca-Cola having like cocaine in it back in the fucking
right
100 years ago. Keep them coming back for more.
And now there's just sugar.
Yeah, which is equally addictive. Equally.
That's, yeah, can we talk about that? The poison. You know how many tablespoons of this shit is in a can?
Me putting 4 sugars into my tea.
There's a lot more than 4 in a can of Coke. There is. There's so much.
I thought you were going to say in my tea.
Oh,
like,
in your tea?
You.
No, there's about 3 or 4. But even that's cloyingly sweet.
Yes.
You're the only person that I know that like ads will work on so well that you can be walking around and you'll see a billboard for it. You don't ever drink soda. You don't ever really drink soda unless you walk by a billboard where there's a Coca-Cola with like frosted glass on the outside looking ice cold on a hot day.
When it looks like it's been like
spritzed with something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll look at it and just be like,
listen, it was one time. I was in a very dry environment.
I actually want one of those.
I was in a desert practically.
But you didn't want water when you saw it? You actually went out and bought that product?
Yeah.
Well, then it worked on you. You're their dream fucking person.
I wanted it.
That's so funny to me. You're the exact type of person that they're like crossing their fingers will walk by that billboard. Every so often I'll see like, Wendy's will post like a funny tweet.
Yeah.
And then there's always that guy that's like, ha ha ha, I'm getting Wendy's now because of this. And he'll literally tweet at them that.
I'm one step away from that.
That's crazy to me. That's so funny to me.
It's only with cold beverages, though.
I'm actually kind of thirsty now.
I've got a weak spot for a cold beverage, is all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's cracking it open.
Yeah, talking about beverages actually made me a little parched.
Look who's a hypocrite now.
Well, it's not just a giant jug of Coca-Cola.
Nah, you still paid for that water.
Nice little relaxing bit to our ASMR meditative podcast.
A beautiful end. Remember
Right.
to hydrate, everyone.
So, speaking of end,
Yeah.
we're at our wits'
We're
end.
ending the
Yeah.
podcast. Goodbye. This is the last episode.
We're ending the.
We're
yeah.
ending the relationship.
We're ending the relationship. We're at our wits' end, and this is the end of an era.
Thanks.
The era was a happy relationship. We are ending this episode because we're out of time.
We are. But before we go, we would like to say that if you have any pickles, any concerns, they can be art-based, they can be not art-based. They can be art-based, they can be fart-based. That's my new slogan that I'm
Wow.
trying out that I've just thought of.
An
Do you like it?
art-based, fart-based podcast.
Do you like it? I think it covers all the bases.
An art-based, fart-based fan base.
If you have any emails you would like to send us, please do, because we have gone through. I think we've actually got to 0 inbox now.
Yes.
We've read them all. So
as
please
of
send us
today,
some new ones. Yeah.
We have plenty of our back catalog, and we do dip in there when we do need to record an episode. But we're always looking for new questions, and we get some every week. Please send us questions. Send us your pickles.
Yes. Tell them the email address.
Oh, did you already ask me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Maybe I didn't.
I don't. You did. You definitely didn't.
Tell them the email address.
All the space in between at gmail.com. And if you would like to hear any of our previous episodes, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Google Podcasts. You can find us on YouTube. Just search the name of the podcast on all of these things and we will come up. Or you can go to our very own special website, which is
allthespaceinbetween.com. Thank you so much for listening to this, our first episode of me being back in the same room.
yes. And you'll be... you actually hit me.
I got him back.
She close-fisted, slammed my the softest part of my leg, and she grabbed my arm.
The softest part of his leg is the knee.
Surprisingly,
He's got a strange bone disease.
I do have, and only the left knee
Spongy.
is very spongy. Yeah, and it smells. That's what's weird about it. That's the worst part about it. It's not the pain.
It looks and smells exactly like an old apple that
Yeah,
you forgot
it's
about
gone
at the
off.
bottom of the
Yeah,
basket.
my knee has gone off.
Like
actually.
if you press into it, you know it's just gonna like collapse and some weird liquid is gonna come out.
It doesn't hurt as much as it does just feel bad.
Just feel
Yeah.
like it. I don't want it there.
No doctors will touch it. That's the worst part of it. I'm trying to look for help. So, hey, if you're a doctor that specializes in this soft, stinky knee I have. Thank you guys so much for listening. New episodes every week. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.